Ebbene, allora è arrivato il momento di effettuare un collegamento con Mario che si trova in un posto molto speciale, no? Mario è andato a vedere appunto dottor Rossi che oltre a essere dottore Silvana ha anche un'altra passione, quella della musica ovviamente. Evviva la musica!
Allora ci colleghiamo subito con Mario, buonasera.
Buonasera.
Grazie Nick, grazie Silvana. This evening we are at Morin Heights at Sunset Studios with a very special guest, Dr. Paul Rossy, compassionate doctor and very passionate musician. Let's go say hello. Dr. Paul Rossy, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us.
And thank you for coming.
It's our pleasure. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you were born.
I was born in Montreal. My grandparents came to Canada from Lebanon at the turn of the century, 1900, 1910. So my parents were born here. And I grew up in Montreal. I was educated here. And
Around what area of Montreal?
I grew up in the town of Mount Royal area. And I went to medical school at McGill. And I trained at the Montreal Children's Hospital. So I've been a pediatrician for several decades in the Montreal area.
So before we get to the music part of this, what inspired you to become a doctor?
Role modeling. My pediatrician was an excellent physician. So I always knew I wanted to be a doctor. I don't know why, but I became one and I chose pediatrics. I love working with children. I love helping families. And that's what I became. And I've been doing it, as I say, for several decades.
When did you first fall in love with music? When did you find this passion? How old were you?
My mother was a pianist and an opera singer. And so I grew up listening to opera and to Pavarotti and to Beethoven. And she used to bring me to the Place des Arts on a regular basis. So I grew up with an exposure to music. Very early on, I was listening to, like everyone else of my age group, Gordon Lightfoot and Neil Young and Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan. So one day I went and got a guitar. I went with my mother, we got a guitar, and I was learning my Lightfoot and Dylan songs like everyone else. And gradually I started to write my own music. Lately I had the opportunity to work with Ian Kelly, a well-known Montreal singer, songwriter, and producer, where we are right now. We're on his grounds and we'll be going to the studio shortly. And with Ian, I was able to work on and release 4 albums, 2 jazz and 2 vocal in the last 2-3 years. So it's been a very successful collaboration. Ian Kelly knows some tremendous musicians of all sorts, so he's introduced me to his extended musical family, and they become my family in a sense.
Was there a particular song, singer, or style of music? You mentioned some of the folk artists like Bob Dylan and Gordon Lightfoot that inspired you. Were you influenced by the rise of rock and roll in that era?
I loved rock and roll and other styles of music, but it was mostly going to Place des Arts whenever Lightfoot came in the 70s and 80s when he was at his peak, and I would sit in Place des Arts as close as I could to the stage and just imagine myself being there.
You've seen him many times?
I've seen Gordon Lightfoot many times, Bob Dylan fewer times. Dylan, of course, mostly at the old Montreal Forum, but Gordon Lightfoot many times at Place des Arts, and I studied the way he wrote music, the way he created chord progressions and melodies, and wrote words to go with his chord progressions and melodies. In many ways, Lightfoot is the soundscape of English Canada.
When is your next show? Where will you be appearing?
I have 3 shows planned toward the end of August. I'm fortunate to be playing at the Morin Heights Folk Festival organized by Ian Kelly, and I'm preparing 5 or 6 songs for that. A week later, my jazz band, the Sunset Hill Jazz Band, has been invited to the Rimouski Jazz Festival to headline that festival, so I'll be going with the band, and it'll be mostly instrumental songs of mine, but I will also be performing a few. October 20th, we have a show for children at the Jésus Theatre called Le Rêve de Paul. And that show is mostly sold out October 20th at the Jésus, but we are seriously thinking of putting on a second show on October 20th.
Paul, do you foresee continuing to record albums, write songs?
I very much enjoy creating art in various forms. Today, we are rehearsing 2 jazz Halloween songs I wrote and a Christmas song I wrote, so I continue to write. Last year, my Christmas song, Merry Christmas, was quite successful, and we're turning that into a book. I should say that all proceeds from my work go to the Montreal Children's Hospital Foundation, so when the book is out, proceeds will go to them, and any profits we may have from our shows at the Jésus.
You must be very, very, very happy that pursuing this passion that is music allows you at the same time to help with the causes that are important to you.
I am blessed to have an organization like the Montreal Children's Hospital Foundation that's receptive to my efforts to raise money to save the lives of children. And I'm equally blessed to have an extended musical family with whom I work to improve my skills at songwriting and singing and performing. This allows us to have shows, and I very much enjoy that. So I'll continue to write music and perform, and I have fun, and at the same time I'm blessed in that I'm able to help children.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Mario, and thank the EC Network for coming out.
There you have it, Nick and Silvana. Dr. Paul Rossy, a true artist, not only in his profession, but in his music. Back to you.
Grazie Mario, complimenti, un abbraccio a tutti, è veramente bello vedere e soprattutto sentire il mondo della musica, grazie ancora.
E subito dopo questa corta pausa ritorniamo con Parlarne fa bene, rimanete con noi.